Hi, everybody. I have a message here from Miss Chris, and here's her story. Hey, Ollie, I'm going to lay this out as smoothly as I can. My life story is an interesting one. With your no bullshit way of doing things, I wanted to share. At 2 years old, my father murdered my mother, stepfather, and grandmother. My young cousins and I, ages 2 and 3, were left in the house with the bodies for 18 hours before we were found. Because of this, I was adopted by my great grandparents. My great grandma, who was a mild narc, died when I was 17 years old. A month after her death, I met David, who was 42, was 25 years my senior. I know now there is a big reason a man that age wants a girl that much younger. A year later, at 18, I became pregnant. At 20, we were married. At 22, we had another child. Insert the general list of all forms of narc abuse throughout these years: gaslighting, name calling, dream killing, identity erosion, ruined every holiday, ruined every special occasion, alcohol abuse, cheating, isolation, intimidation, and of course, physical violence. He would even sit on the ledge of the tub while I tried to take a shit. Nothing was off limits. There wasn't a boundary he wouldn't cross. That is, listen, for a man to want to be in the bathroom while his wife is taken, like there are a few things, like I'm sorry, I might be all misogynistic, but holy God, that is the last place I want to be. I don't even want to know about it. Go to the store and do it. I don't even want to know about it. So dude, that is some level of control and perfect. And I know most guys feel that way. Well, who really wants to be in a private bathroom with anybody taking a shit, let alone your wife? Oh, Lord. Like, it's one thing to be bursting in while you're taking a shit, but to actually fucking sit there while you're taking a shit. I left after 6 years of this, only to find myself roped back into a relationship after 6 months of intense pressure that's hard to explain to people who don't know what a narc is. 16 years after meeting this man, I finally said enough. After he put his hands on me, I called the police, obtained a PPO, and filed for divorce. I was dragged through the court for a year, which is mild compared to some. I've been threatened and stalked. I put a GPS on his vehicle so I would be alerted to when he was coming. I got over my fear of guns and would shoot him in a heartbeat if he entered my home. My oldest is 15 and is the scapegoat. He wants nothing to do with his father. My youngest, the golden child, still goes every other weekend, but his patience is wearing thin. Accidental texts from his father that were meant for me have come on his phone calling me a cunt piece of shit mother. I don't know what David is trying to accomplish with these, but it is intentional. Your insight would be greatly appreciated on this. He plays the games with my son. You must not love me if you want to live with your mother. Blah blah bullshit. He spews endlessly. My son has changed his number and refuses to give it to his dad. I tried going no contact, but I have been pulled in numerous times when I lose my shit and want to get some good jabs in. I know how to piss him off, and I'll be honest, it feels good to have a little power once in a while. A year ago, I allowed him to think his threats were getting to me. His demeanor changes back to the man in charge when he started laying out his demands like I was a child being scolded. Then I laughed like he was a fool. It drove him crazy. I shouldn't do that. I don't want to end up like my mother, and I'm legitimately afraid of this man. You shouldn't fuck with the crazy. It's been 3 solid weeks without contact. I see him at my son's baseball games. He doesn't sit close to intimidate me like he used to. I haven't received any text, phone calls, or emails belittling me or calling me names. I have to wonder, what is he up to? I should note, after his first divorce, a man broke into his ex-wife's home and beat her and raped her. David had alibis, but I believe in my heart he had something to do with it. Sorry for the long story, but I wanted to get your take on things. Any thoughts? Your strength has been an inspiration to me, and it has to so many others. Keep up the fight. Continue to expose these monsters for who they truly are. We're proud of you for overcoming and being the voice when we didn't have one. Thank you, Chris. Well, clearly what happened in your youth screwed you up to the point that it made you susceptible to violent narcissists. I would imagine somehow, even as a young child, I think you said you were 2 or 4, you married your father. I don't know how old he was when he did this, but I would imagine he was either around or somewhat close to the age, older. Even if he was in his 20s when it happened, or early 30s, as a child, that age difference is probably what you saw it as, which probably made you susceptible to a 42-year-old man at 17 years old. Not only did it make you attracted to it made you attracted to a violent one as well. One who legitimately could follow the path of your father. The truth is, guys like this, they go hot and cold. And when they're quiet like that is when you need to worry. Because you're going through a divorce, so your family court, he still has his rights for now. I would make sure the court sees those text messages and your youngest son tells the court the things he says. Because this is a guy who sounds like he's spiraling. Everything he did to you, you named is, just along that chain of violent narcissism. And you already had a PPO on him. Violent narcissists don't learn their lesson until it's too late. You either cut them out and get away from them, or they end up getting themselves arrested and thrown into prison. And unfortunately, the things that finally get them arrested either kills you or creates lifelong bodily harm. You got to carry, you got to conceal carry, you have a weapon. I would be taking all precautions necessary with him. Because a guy like this is plotting in his head. He's always plotting. And remember how the narcissist will always attack you at your weakest, or when they think you're most vulnerable, or when you're least expecting it. They're predators. They're hiding in the bushes. They're waiting for their moment. They're just waiting for you to take a drink down by the river so they can pounce. Being very stealth in their behavior before the explosion is usually how they do it, because they hit you out of nowhere. And in your case, it's more dangerous. A, because of your history. And I think you ended up with this guy because of the age difference, as you saw an age difference between your father, and somehow duplicated a relationship with your father, and that must have burned in very, very, very young. Very young. And secondly, B, you just don't know when you can snap. You don't know. All narcissists attack you at your weakest point. A violent one like this with your history, it could go bad real quick and turn violent. And what you're telling me about his first wife getting raped, and with your history, that can't be coincidence. We're always going to attract the type of narcissist who fucked us up to begin with. Always. So you need to be extra cautious and extra careful. I would record all interactions with them, make sure you always have your weapon on you, and turn everything over to the court. Because the court isn't going to understand your history. They're not going to understand the video from Ollie Matthews or give a shit who the hell I am. They're not. You're going to have to show the court that this guy is unstable. And you already had a PPO on it, so I don't think it would be that difficult to prove. So always make sure you're protected, you're recording, you have a quick way to call for help, 911, because you just don't know what this guy is capable of. You just don't know. So I hope that helps. Thank you for your story. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any comments or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, whether through an email, text message, or audio, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I'll have the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.